I remember another time when like the guy I actually liked was writing notes back and forth with another girl who was like, she wasn't like my good friend, but she was a friend. We were in the same kind of group, and she always used to go on about how fat she was, even though she was not fat at all. And she, I remember them writing notes to each other. Like basically I got hold of the note at the end, because like I said, in high school people will always make sure you see what happened. Like someone is always there to give you the information or to give you the feedback. Anyway, I saw the note that they'd been writing earlier, because I think someone took it or was left behind or something, and it basically had like, oh, she was like saying how fat she was, and he was like, oh no, you're not fat. My first name is Stephanie and Bisa is my middle name, so she used my first name. She said, oh, am I as fat as Steph? And he said, yeah, you are, like as a joke kind of thing. And she went, oh thanks, I'm definitely going on a diet then. And I just remember reading this and thinking, this is so embarrassing, like this is so humiliating that I'm now the comparison of what is hideous kind of thing. Like, am I fatter than Steph? Then I must be really bad. Anyway, time passes and I started to become quite suicidal. Like I used to feel like I didn't want to be me anymore. I didn't want to kind of live anymore. And I remember like thinking that even if I tried to kill myself, I probably wouldn't die. So I just remember every time I used to get really upset, really frustrated, I remember crying a lot, like a lot, during the high school years. And I used to hit myself over the head with my shoes, like high heel shoes, like hit myself in the face, on my head. I used to bite myself, scratch myself. And I know it's not like rare. I know, like, look, some of my friends were cutting themselves and stuff. Like it was pretty, like that time of your life is pretty bad, like not just because of these things, but people have different things going on in their lives and some people don't know how to handle it. But I just became really kind of suicidal basically, and one time I did actually attempt to kill myself, and I OD'd on like paracetamol. And the thing is, I literally just waited till there was no one in the house, and I passed out, and then I just woke up, like, and I didn't really get why I didn't kind of die, or at least need my stomach pumped. I didn't understand, but yeah, that's what I just kind of was fine. And then I don't know, but anyway, obviously it was God, but I can't think of a physical reason why I didn't, because I was told by my friend who, her dad was a chemist or whatever, she told me that, oh, for kids, like for 14-year-olds and stuff, like it only takes like 6 to kill you, 6 paracetamols to kill you, and I'd taken like way more than that. And anyway, so things got really bad, but I think the thing that kept me going was hope. There was always something in me that made me feel like, as horrible as everything is and as horrible as everything seems, my life will get better, that things will change, that I will look better, that I will feel better. And that's what kept me going. And also something that happened is, like, basically I started to lose weight. Like, I obviously lost most of my weight because I was ill, because I wasn't eating properly, but then afterwards I wasn't like throwing up like I was before. It was like, it wasn't as bad as it was before at all. It was just literally like an involuntary thing sometimes, but like I was a lot better basically. And I just remember starting to feel a bit better about myself, just because I made a decision that I can be who I want to be, and it's just going to take work. And it was an ongoing process. It's not like it was an ongoing process. So anyway, so I remember I used to do my makeup. Like, I wasn't allowed to wear makeup till I was 16, by the way. So I think that's what helped me to develop some sort of self-confidence without relying on makeup, which was really good for me. At the time I hated it because I was the only one out of my friends who wasn't allowed to wear it. But I used to basically go in the toilets, like at home, and just practice my makeup, practice my eyeliner, practice how to do my makeup. This was like when I was 15, and I remember feeling like, hang on, I actually can look better if I want to. And that in itself was empowering, because knowing that behind, like at the back of your mind, knowing that you can look better, like you're not as ugly as you think you are, kind of thing, made me feel like, okay, like if I choose, I don't have to feel like I'm disgusting, kind of thing. I remember using that to my advantage. I remember doing a school play, and I was, it was Greece, and I was like the extra, and I was kind of like, I remember wearing my glasses and putting my hair all back and no make, like I had makeup, but just my glasses and my hair all back and stuff, and just playing this extra part. And then basically there was a scene where we had to run, and I had a quick change scene, and I literally had to change, and I got like, I had a gown on and just become a lot smaller, and I just looked better. And I remember my glasses coming off, I couldn't see anything while I was doing this scene, but it was cool. And I just remember it was my turn, and I had a singing part. I was like the radio singer, but I was like this kind of angel that came out and just started singing, like kind of Diana Ross kind of thing. So I came out with big like curly hair and stuff, and I sang, and no one knew who I was. They were like, who's that? Like I heard loads of teachers saying like they didn't actually know it was me. They didn't know it was me. They couldn't believe that it was me. And like I was just like, oh cool. And that kind of gave me confidence. But another thing that made me feel good is, like, I'm saying all these bad things, but the thing that helped me the most was I was a singer. Like from the age of 7 I've been performing. I've been singing in church since I was like 7 years old, and that was what helped me, because even when I was in primary school, high school, whatever, I always knew that when I sang, like, you know, when you sing, it kind of gives you some sort of favour with other people. Like people want to be your friend, people want to know you. Like they didn't want to know me before that, but then when I sang, people wanted to like speak to me. And I knew that, like, even though I used to feel so sick with nerves, literally like want to throw up before I performed, my dad used to make me do it, and I'm so grateful that he did, because as soon as I knew, every time, as soon as I sang the first note, I felt so free. I just felt so like, this is what I'm meant to do, this is who I'm meant to be. And just, it was just the best feeling in the world to be on, like, on stage, and like, and to get applause, and like, and to feel like you are accepted, because that is, you know, that is what it makes you feel, kind of thing. But anyway, so for my prom also, we had a school prom, and I remember my mum making my dress for me, and just feeling like, by that time I was 16, so I was allowed to wear makeup, and I just remember feeling so like empowered and so kind of like pretty. I just remember feeling pretty. Okay, so fast forward, I went to college, and I remember the summer holidays of college, that's when I started really building my confidence and feeling like I'm gonna be who I want to be, I'm gonna look how I want to look. I got contact lenses, and I was really good at my makeup, and I just became like, and things got so much better, because it was surrounded by people who didn't know me as well from the past. They didn't know me from high school and think, oh, there's fat Steph, there's ugly Steph, or whatever. They knew me as like, oh, who's this, kind of thing. And I remember there was this guy that I really liked, and I didn't really like him, but he was just kind of good looking, and he was a bit older, like a couple of years older than me. And I just remember my friend, it was like an assembly or something, one of my friends, she said to me, oh, by the way, so-and-so likes you. And I remember going, I thought she was talking to my friend behind me, and she goes, no, you. I went, me? He likes me? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, what? And I remember just like, just feeling like, oh my gosh, someone likes me? Like, and then I remember being in, people were giving me compliments and stuff, and just when I was in college, and I remember like going to Tesco's with my brother, and I was like, Jake, guess what? Someone called me pretty today. And he was like, yeah. I went, it's crazy. And he was just like, okay. And I was like, yeah. He was just like, yeah, you are, kind of thing. I was like, I was just like, I can't believe it. Like, someone called me pretty. And it was like, it was really cool, because it was like, after feeling like so rubbish this whole time, I suddenly started to feel like accepted. But the problem with that is that my confidence was built on people's opinion, and that's where the problem lies. Like, you cannot be confident because people give you compliments. So then when people don't give you compliments, like, which is what happened, because there was a later stage, like when I was like 19 in the first year of uni, where like there's a stage in your life where people think that you are confident, so they don't need to give you compliments, they don't need to tell you you're pretty because they assume you know it. And there was that missing period where I was like, okay, after being told I'm ugly, then being told I'm pretty, and now I'm being told nothing. What am I? Like, being lost. Like, what am I? Like, just that feeling of like, I don't know who I am. I don't know how people perceive me. And slowly, it's taken a long time, and it's something that I'm still going through. I'm still learning, but just you cannot have your self-confidence built on what people think about you. It has to be built on what you think about yourself. How you see yourself is important, not how other people see you. You have to see yourself as being someone. You have to see yourself as being who God has made you to be. And it matters what you think about yourself and what you say about yourself. When you constantly are talking about all the negative things about you, you are not going to be, it's not going to help you at all. It's what you, when you say positive things to yourself, then your brain starts to believe it and it starts to bring it into fruition almost. And like, I just want to encourage people. First of all, I want to encourage young people who are at school, people who are around you, people who other people are laughing at, who are being bullied. You have to remember that these are human beings, and their whole lives can be moulded by what you're saying to them and what you're doing and how you're treating them. We have to have respect for everyone, no matter what they look like. You don't know who that person's going to be. You don't know what they're going to become. You can't sum them up from how they are now, and you can't make them, you can't add to their misery. You don't know how some people are living. You don't know what is going on in some people's personal lives, and you cannot just make people feel worse. You don't want to be responsible for making someone feel worse, for making someone feel suicidal. And secondly, I want to say to people who are being bullied, who do feel worthless, who do feel like they've got nothing to offer or nothing good about themselves, first of all, you cannot sum up who you are based on now. Like, I'm not who I'm gonna be. There's so much more. Everything that you are gonna be is in you, but it's not coming out yet. There are different circumstances that are gonna bring out who you are, who your nature is, who you're gonna become. Like, you can't think that this is it, that I look like this, therefore this is how I'm always gonna look. You can't be like, I am like this, I'm not that, I'm worthless. You don't know. You can't abort your destiny. You can't say this is all I'm gonna be, so therefore why I might as well end it. You can't feel like I wish I was never born. You don't know what else you've got to offer. You don't know what's in you. You could be like the next whatever. You can be answer to so many problems, and you could just be aborting that just from negative thinking, from feeling rubbish about yourself. Know that there's more inside you, who you are. You haven't seen the best of you yet. You haven't seen the best of who you are. You haven't seen the best of what you have to offer other people. And I just hope this really encourages people, because so many people have encouraged me, and I don't know what I would do without God in my life. Like, I know people say that and all the time, but I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be alive. I wouldn't be happy. I would have been so miserable, and so like the way I was, it was not healthy, and I don't want anyone else to feel like that. It's not a way to live. It's not a way that you can survive. And I hope this has been helpful to someone, because it's like kind of, you know, like, this is all I can give, but I just thought I'd tell my story just to let people know that, like, people do understand. I don't want to talk too much because I think that's enough said, but I just want to encourage you. Just remember that you haven't seen the best of you yet. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.